this episode, the two go to the dentist and discover that if one doesn't take care of their teeth, it's the others that is affected. Disgusting amounts of junk food and never brush it. Yet it's Cat who gets all the cavities. No use. Dog won't listen. They fight, chewing on things like aluminum foil to hurt each other's teeth, just thinking about it. Later that night, Cat tries to brush Dog's teeth while he's asleep, pull himself through his skin and out of Dog's mouth. On waking up, Dog shares the same reaction all of us would have, and is terrified. Concept for a show that just barely scratches the surface of all the weird and just... This is one of those things that we wish stayed under the surface.
Season 3 of Jimmy Neutron was where things started to get weird. Not that it wasn't weird. Giant alien chicken dragon, for fuck's sake. The tone of the show for its final season got weird. The episode One of Us, Dean telling Jimmy and Carl about a new show that he's been watching called The Happy Show Show. And they all should watch it because it'll make them happy. Jimmy ignores it and goes to do some weird prepubescent stuff on his computer, like heads into wedding photos. However, it will not stop bothering Jimmy to watch the show. Soon enough, Jimmy starts noticing that everyone is acting different, being uncomfortably friendly with one another. Crush, Betty, convinces him to give it a go. The old woman named Grandma Taters. He watches 10 seconds of it before turning it off, because it's just that bad, and quickly puts it out of his mind. The next day at school, all the kids are desperately to give it another chance. Betty asks him to come over and watch it with him. House that night, he sees her watching through the window, recognizing people. Soon, the entire town is after Jimmy, trying to force him to watch the show. Luckily, Cindy, who just returned from a karate competition, pets an alien, and there's actually multiple Grandma Taters. Of a real-life Taiwanese children's show called... Season 3 of Jimmy Neutron was where things started to get weird. And Dragon, for fuck's sake. The tone of the show by its own standard, particular that highlights his tonal changes. The episodes link Jimmy and Carl about been watching called The Happy Show Show. And they all should watch it because it'll make them happy. Jimmy ignores it and goes to do some weird Photoshop him and his crush's heads into wedding photos. However, Shane is relentless and will not stop bothering Jimmy to watch the show. Soon enough, Jimmy starts noticing that everyone is acting different, being uncomfortably friendly with one another. Give it a go. So, that night he turns it on and is greeted by a kindly old... He watches 10 seconds of it before turning it off, because it's just that bad, and quickly puts it out of his mind. The next day at school, all the kids are desperately trying to get Jimmy to give her and watch it with him. But, as that night, he sees her watching through the window and realizes that the show is hypnotizing people. Known as after Jimmy, trying to force him to watch the show. Luckily, Cindy, who just returned from a karate competition... Partner, thanks. Did I mention that I play by my own rules? The Happy Show Show is actually a parody of...
from Adventure Time.
This is a moment we've talked about time and time again, and for good reason. Serving moments in cartoon history. In the episode Blue Cat Blues, Tom and Jerry, the episode starts right off the bat with Tom sitting on the railroad tracks, waiting for death. When he gets home, his friends will ask why he didn't try to stop him. Well, Jerry believes that it's better this way.
Oh, really me?
Home isn't a place. Let me give you a clue.
Very soon.
Time Nickelodeon made a feature two teenagers, Josh and Parker, who worked at the titular fast food restaurant, Times of Shenanigans. The show was not... The network received many petitions to end the show in its ultimately short existence. Introduce a gross amount of... Did not appreciate the abundance of meat and gross-out humor to end the show, which may have played a part in its ultimately... Despite that, it managed to introduce a gross amount of disturbing moments in run. Tapeworm, in the episode, Parker mooching off of Josh's lunch, much to his annoyance. He gets everyone in the food court until he has earned the title the Mall Moocher. Moves to the low level of eating the raw burgers they plan on serving to customers. Strange things begin occurring after eating the burger. Finds that food is disappearing right before his eyes, before he can even eat it. He's unable to deliver food orders either, as Josh records Parker trying to eat in slow motion, revealing that an enormous tape living inside of his stomach. The two get the tapeworm out, yanking it from Parker's stomach and into his arm, where it writhes around chaotically.
The youngest member of the team must be supplied with his own all-terrain vehicle?
Afterwards, an Australian man comes up and asks to buy it for a zoo. The boys agree, they hand it over to him, and then the man swallows it whole.
You know what I could go for? A root beer float.